We'll take a little trip over yonder, so I can take a look around at what you've seen. I can see from where I am you're on an adventure in a place you can't describe. Some things can't be captured in words.
Alright, hello, what's up mga kamat learner? Isang magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Ito pa rin ang inyong abot kamay na mga teacher, si Sir Ash, at welcome ngayon sa ating Friday discussion for the grade 8 mathematics for the quarter 2 module 3, which is entitled, ang haba nito, Find the Domain and Range of a Function, Graphs and Illustrate a Linear Function and its Domain, Range, Table of Values, Intercepts, Slope, and solve problems involving linear functions. So, last time nag-discuss na tayo tungkol sa mga preliminaries or mga basics or foundation tungkol kay function and relation as well as the linear function. So, ngayon medyo magfo-focus tayo sa linear functions. So, if ever bago ka pa sa channel na ito, hopefully you can click the subscribe button and notification bell para maging updated ka sa ating mga topics. Okay, dito sa ating channel. Welcome sa inyong lahat, and hopefully, since we are near to our Christmas break, I'm sure na iba sa inyo ay medyo busy na, but our channel will keep on discussing and helping students, lalong-lalo na sa mga gustong matapos agad sa kanilang modules para sa quarter 2, as well as yung mga taong gustong magkaroon ng high understanding about mathematics. Okay, so let us start. Now, in this given module for the quarter 2 module 3, of course, the first page is the cover page with the title on it. The second page is yung mga tao sa likod ng module na ito. Pangatlo na page is yung title page. At ang pang-apat naman ay ang introductory message para sa mga teachers at para sa inyo mga students. Alright. Okay, so simulan na nga natin. Okay, so on the fifth page of the topic, that is where you will read the objectives of the module. So, para sa discussion ito, ang objectives natin ay ang mga to find the domain and range of a function. Pangalawa is to graph and illustrate a linear function, its domain, its range, the table of values, intercepts, and slope. Okay. And ang pangatlo is to solve problems involving linear function. So, my dear math learners, medyo maraming madidiscuss natin for today, but let me assure you, okay. Let me assure you na itong madidiscuss natin is basically madali pa rin. Okay, so after the objectives is the let us try, and this is the pretest of the given module. So dito, kung ano lang yung kaya nyong sagutin, okay, you just do what you can do or your best para masagot ito sila. So sa first direction, we have the 1 to 5. You just write there always, sometimes, and never. So when we say always, at all times, kahit saan tingnan ng mga pagkakataon, the fact is always true. Sometimes naman, ibig sabihin, in other conditions, that is correct, but in other conditions, that is wrong. And never, kahit baliktarin mo man ang mundo, yun pa rin, hindi sila pwedeng maging ganun. Okay, so yun, 1 to 5 yan siya. Next, exercise 2. Same under pa rin dito sa ating pretest is to analyze a graph. Okay, so the first given is a linear function and the second given is a circle. Okay, so circular function ito. Kayo magsasabi kung sino sa kanilang dalawa ang function at saka hindi. Okay, now second, by the way, circular graph pala. Okay. On the exercise 3 is the domain and the range. So identify who are the domain and who are the range. Okay, sa mga given na ito. So number 1, that is a set of ordered pairs. Number 2, number 3, set of ordered pairs. Number 3 is a diagram. Okay. So those are the things. So after that, after the pretest, you will now start to learn about the topic in this module. So that is in the let us study part. So, ano nga ba ang nandito? Alright, so, linear function. Ano nga ba ang linear function? Basically, ito ay isang function in the first degree. When we say first degree, yung highest exponent niya ay 1. So, ibig sabihin, meron siyang variable, pero wala kang makikitang exponent na nakalitaw because that is understood as 1. Now, since function siya, so dalawang variables ang pinag-uusapan natin. Commonly, these are the x and the y. Sometimes y is being referred to as the f of x or known as the function of x. So, ito nga, the linear function is identified by the y is equal to mx plus b or the f of x is equal to mx plus b. So, si y dito at saka si f of x dito ay iisa lamang. Okay? Si m naman dito is known as the slope and the b here is the y-intercept. So, ano bang ibig sabihin ng slope? Slope is the steepness of the line. So, pwedeng ganito ka-steep, pwedeng ganyan ka-steep. Okay, so yan ang context ng slope. Samantalang ang y-intercept naman ay ang pagtatama ng graph mo, yung linear graph, sa y-axis. So that is called the y-intercept. Alright. Okay. Now, let us continue. Now, we have the domain of the function. So the domain of the function is the first coordinates of the values. So remember, the ordered pair, di ba, yung ordered pair natin, naka-parenthesis yun siya commonly written. So, x at saka y yun. So, lahat ng x, yun sila ang mga domain. Samantalang yung y naman, or yung mga second coordinates, yun yung tinatawag na range of the function. Okay. Next, what are the intercepts? So, ang intercepts naman ay ang pagtatama ng graph either from the y-axis, ang tawag doon y-intercept, at pag tumama naman siya sa x-axis, ang tawag doon ay x-intercept. Ang x-intercept is also known as the zeros of the function or the roots of the function. So at least, medyo meron kayong idea kung ano ang pagkakaiba ng dalawa, ng y-intercept at saka ng x-intercept, as well as malaman nyo din kung ano ang iba't ibang pangalan ng x-intercept. So, it is also known as the zeros of the function or the roots of the function. Okay, now let us continue. Now, talking about the slope, yung m, dito sa y is equal to mx plus b, yung m, you can compute that or you can solve that, you can attain that by getting y sub 2 or y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1 or x sub 1 minus x sub 2. Regardless kung sinong nauna. As long as kung sa y sub 1 ka dito nag-start, let it bigger, or yan. So, kapag nag-start ka sa y1, okay, of course, sa baba, mag-start ka rin sa y1. So, if you followed it with y2, sa baba din, you follow it with x sub 2. Okay? Now, what does this mean? Saan ba galing itong x1, x2, y2, y1, ganyan? Okay. So, remember, if you have two ordered pairs, tama, x, y, then another ordered pair, x, y. So, you could classify them, yung first as x1 and y1. Yung second naman is x2 and y2. Okay. So, i-minus mo lang sila, and then the answer for the numerator is, that is what we call the rise, yung akyat niya, ilan yung akyat. Kung positive yung rise mo, so aakyat ka. Kung negative, bababa ka. Ganun lang yun. And kung sa denominator naman, yun ang sagot doon is the run, yung takbo. So, if ever positive yung run, papunta ka sa positive side, meaning to the right ka. Pero kapag negative naman yung run mo, or negative yung denominator mo, then you will run to the left. Okay, so ganun lang kadali, my dear math learners. Okay. So, ito na nga yun dito. Okay? So, left to right, ganun. Okay. Next. Meron din dito, if ang slope mo ay 0, then the graph goes like this. Okay? When your m is 0, it goes like this. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng 0? 0 yung numerator. So, when a fraction has a 0 numerator, it means that the whole value is equal to 0. Okay, so your graph will become like this, horizontal. Okay, but if your slope has a denominator of 0, that means undefined. So if that is the case, kung undefined, ang magiging graph mo naman ay vertical line. Okay, so ganun lang kadali, my dear math learners. Alright. Okay, so let us start. Alright. So, function notation. Ano nga ba itong function notation? So, the f of x, the notation na commonly noon, tawag dyan y, pero f of x, pwede mo rin siyang palitan. Okay? So, it means the function of x. So, ang gagawin mo lang is, kung meron kang value ng x, tapos gusto mong isolve yung function of x, bali, papalitan mo lang siya. Isa-substitute mo lang sa given. So, consider the role of the function. F of x is equal to 4x minus 1. Now, kung ang x mo ay positive 2, ang gagawin mo dyan ay isa-substitute mo tong 2 dito kay x dito sa given, sa function mo, which is 4x minus 1. So, magiging 4 times 2 minus 1 na yan. So, that will become 8 minus 1, which is like here. Okay, nandito na yan. And then, if you simplify 8 minus 1, the answer is positive 7. So, the function of 2 in this given example, expression, is equal to 7. Alright? So, ganun lang kadali, my dear math learner. So, if your x is 2, kapag gagawa ka ng ordered pair, if yung x mo ay 2, yung y mo naman ay 7. So, 2, 7. Now, that is what we call, yung 2 dyan, ito yung tinatawag na input natin. Okay? So, napakadali lang, my dear math learners. Alright. So, let us continue. Easy, right? Yeah, easy talaga. So, we have here, what if the output is 2, the value of x, and the output is 7, so the value of f of x or y. Yan. How about kung 3? Okay, how about kung 3? So, of course, papalitan mo lang ang x mo ng 3. So, that will become 4 times 3 minus 1. So, 12 minus 1, that is 11. So, if it is 3, then you have 11 as the output. Okay? So, kapag gagawa ka ng ordered pair mula dito, that will become 3, 11. Okay? 3 ang x, 11 ang y. Alright. Now, let's talk about the domain and the range. So, as what I've said earlier, the domain is the set of all values of x, or the first coordinates in the ordered pair, while the range is the all values of y, or the f of x, or the y, or the second coordinates in your ordered pair. So, x, y. So, si x, lahat ng x, yun yung domains. Lahat ng y, yun yung range. Okay, so you have taken the domain and the range given in the table of values in the previous lesson. Okay, so last week, when we discussed quarter 2, module 2, we have already discussed the, anong tawag dito? The domain and the range of a function. Alright, now, let us continue. So we have here, find the domain and the range of each graph below. Okay, so here we have the graph A, and here we have the graph B. So this B is a parabola. Okay, parabolic siya. So normally this is in the quadratic term or quadratic function. So in the power degree of 2 ito. At ito naman linear, from the word line, linear function. So that is in the degree of 1. Okay, or yung exponent niya 1, yung highest exponent ng given. Alright, so solutions. In A, arrow's head indicates that the graph of the function extends in both directions. So that is here. Alright. So it extends to the left and right without boundary. Thus, the domain D of the function is the set of real numbers. So, ibig sabihin, ito siya dito, my dear math learners, since meron tayong arrow dito, hindi na yan matatapos. Okay? Hindi yan matatapos. So, if that is the case, then lahat ng numbers kaya niyang kunin. Okay? So, from the positive side going to the negative side. So, ang sagot ng domain is the set of real numbers. Bakit the set of real numbers? It's because, di ba, as what we have said, is ang domain is the values of x. So, kapag pupunta tayo dito, going here, okay, tingnan nyo tong arrow ko, going here, magkakaroon talaga kayo ng value ng x. Because, since this graph is composed of values of x and y from the point, mga coordinates niya, xy, 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 xy. So, here, papunta dito, magkakaroon talaga siya ng value with a particular value of y. Okay? Papunta naman dito, may mga values din yan siya ng x. So, ito, may value ng x, may value ng x, may value ng x, may value ng x, and going further. So, therefore, we can say na kahit mag-extend itong arrow na ito, it will take all the values of x. So, thus, we can say that the domain is the set of real numbers. Now, how about y? So, sa y, ganun din. Ito siya from here, okay, dito, may mga ka-value yan siya ng y papunta dito. Yan, papunta, may y yan siya dyan. Dito din, may y, may y, may y. Because this coordinate or the coordinates of this line, this graph, is composed of x and y, where all the values of the x-axis, of the y-axis, above man yan or below, meron talagang value ng y. So therefore, the range also is the set of real numbers. Thus, we can say that the domain and range of this given graph is the set of real numbers. Okay, ganon lang kadali, my dear math learners. Now, how about sa letter B? Now, dito sa letter B, medyo hindi. Bakit hindi? Because ang arrow natin ay pumunta dito, tapos bumaba. Ibig sabihin, kahit mag-extend ito dito, papunta dito, technically, hindi niya na ito matatamaan. Tama? Hindi na niya ito matatamaan. However, itong si x value niya, okay, diba ito? If this is your graph, may x dito, may x dito, may x dyan, may x coordinates ang minimin ko ha. So, may x coordinates yan siya dyan. So, lalaki at lalaki yung ano mo, lalaki at lalaki yung ano tawag dyan, parabola mo. So, as it goes bigger, it will all take the x values, and the positive x values and the negative x values. However, pagdating kay y, ang kukunin niya lang is yung negative y. Kasi kahit mag-extend ito dito, hindi niya na matatamaan ito. Therefore, we can say that for letter B, the domain of the given graph is the set of real numbers. Pero yung range ay mula kay 0 lamang pababa. Ulitin ko. Pag domain ang pinag-uusapan, dito tayo kay x, okay? Ditong x-axis. So, lahat ito makukuha ng x kasi lalaki pa yan. Okay? If we extend the arrow of the parabola. So, therefore, the domain of the function is the set of real numbers kasi tatamaan niya ng x. Okay? May x values talaga yan. However, for y, hanggang dito lang ang kaya niyang tamaan. Okay? Pababa. Pero dito, wala siyang tatamaan ng y. So, walang composition of the positive y. Therefore, for the range, that is only ito. Yan. As you can see, all set of real numbers such that y is less than or equal to 0. So, from 0, pababa. Okay, yun lamang ang range ng ating graph dito. Okay, so I hope, my dear math learners, nakuha nyo yun. Alright, so let us try this one. Okay. So, we have here illustrate the ordered pairs into tables of values, mapping diagram, and then, okay. So, start muna tayo dito. Ito yung given ordered pairs, ha? Okay. So, let's start here. I hope you can focus here, okay? Ayan. Okay, sorry. Ayan. So, ito yung given natin. Ito yung given, okay? So, we have negative 2, 3. Ilalagay ko yan dyan. Negative 2, 3. Negative 1, 2. 0, 1. 1, 1. 2, negative 1, and 3, negative 2. So, ganun lang kadali, my dear math learners. Lahat ng mga first values, those are the x. Lahat ng mga second values, those are the y. Okay. Now, sa mapping naman. Of course, sa mapping, madali lang yan. Negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, at 3. Yung mga first, dito mo ilalagay kay A. Dito naman kay B, yun yung mga second numbers. 3, 2, 1, 1, negative 1, and negative 2. Dito mo din lalagay. Tapos, gagawa ka ng line. Okay? Yung arrow, papunta ganyan. Okay, so, para kay negative 2, papunta siya kay positive 3. Para kay negative 1, papunta siya kay positive 2. Para kay 0, pupunta siya kay 1. Para kay 1, pupunta siya kay 1. So, dalawa nang tatama kay 1. And then, for 2, pupunta siya kay negative 1. And then, for 3, pupunta siya kay negative 2. Ganon lang kadali, my dear math learners. So, the graph. Okay, so paano naman itong graph? So, when you graph, of course, you have here negative 2, negative 3. So, saan yan? So, this is negative 1, negative 2 for the x. Then, positive 3. So, papunta tayo sa taas. So, positive 1. Okay, let us... Teka. Okay. Medyo nawala ang aking camera. Let's just have a quick... Alright. Quick interlude lang muna po tayo. I hope you can still hear me, my dear math learners.
Bluetooth connected.
Okay, so I hope you can still hear me. So please lang, wag lang kayong mawala. Medyo nawala lang yung video ko. Alright. So interlude muna tayo, mga mahal kong learners. Alright, mga kamat learners, pasensya na kayo sa ating naging interlude kasi naubusan talaga ako ng battery sa aking camera. Okay, so pinalitan ko lang muna ng battery. Ganyan talaga pag live. Okay, I hope you are still listening to Math Teacher Ash. Alright. Okay, so what we have here, let us continue our discussion. Ayan. Okay, so paano naman sa graph? Okay, sa pag-graph naman, ito. So we have here negative 2 and positive 3. So from here, that is negative 2 for x, positive 3 for y. So negative 2, 1, 2, x-axis tayo. Then positive 3 kay y, 1, 2, 3. Dito ka maglalagay ng dot. Okay? You put a dot here. Yan. Okay? So you put a dot here. Next, negative 1, positive 2. So negative 1, that is negative 1 here. And then positive 2 here. So 1, 2. So dito ka na naman maglalagay ng panibagong dot. Alright. 0, 1. So 0 si x, positive 1 si y. So nandito ka na naman. Another dot. 1, 1. So nandito yan. Okay, 1, 1. And then we have 2, negative 1. 2, negative 1. So nandito yan. Alright. Okay, sorry, medyo hindi siya naging yan. Negative, positive 2, negative 1. And then positive 3, negative 2. Positive 3, negative 2. So we have that here. Okay, so if ever you will be making a drawing of that one, para siyang magiging snake. Okay, parang ganito kanina. Okay? So from here, then here, tapos kasi may linya siya dito eh. Tama, pareho sila 1, 1 eh. So therefore, there is a line here. Okay, so ganun lang, my dear math learners. And then you make an arrow out of that. Okay? So here are the questions. What are the values of x? Of course, yung lahat ng nilagay mo dito, yun yung values ng x. What are the values of y? Lahat ng nilagay mo dito. Okay, so ganun lang. Okay, so after that, you are finished. Okay. So, I hope you don't have any question about that. Now, let us go to the second. In the activity given earlier, given the set of ordered pairs, so ito na yung mga sagot nila. Okay. So, as you can see, dot, 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 yan, dot there. Okay. O yan, pinakita na sa inyo. So, the domain, yun yung mga x, the range, yun yung mga y. Okay. So, I hope nakuha nyo yan. Next, we have here is the how can you graph the function described by the table of ordered pairs that follows. So, ganun pa rin. Negative 2, 2. So, ito yon. Okay, so palakihin lang natin para at least makita nyo. Alright. Yan. Okay, so we have here negative 2, 2. Ito yon. Negative 1, 1. Ito yon. Okay, negative 1 ng x. Positive 1 ng y. 0, 4 nandito. Then, positive 1, 7 nandito. Okay, so you just plot all the ordered pairs. So that is just how you make the graph. Okay? So if you want to connect it, then you can also, you can do so. Okay, you just correct. But do not put any arrows on it because it is just said that these are the graph and then they are the ano. Okay, so wala naman siyang rise and run. Hindi naman siya diretso. Okay, so meron pala. So ito yung rise. Oh. Pwede ka maglagay ng arrow dyan because since it is known as a function. Okay, linear function. So you can connect them. Somehow dito lang kanina hindi lang tayo naglagay ng arrow because those are just given ordered pairs. Okay, so as you can see, I hope maklear sa inyo itong color red na ito. Ayan, no? Nakikita nyo? Red, tapos may red, may line na naman dito, tapos pag ganyan. Okay? So that's it. Alright. So now let us go to letter B. Draw a line that passing. Okay, yun nga. Dinrawing na niya. Meron ng arrow. Okay? So, with the use of a ruler. At yan na magiging linear function mo or graph of the linear function mo. Okay? And to determine if the graph is a function, one needs to perform the vertical line test. Okay? Baka hindi nyo nalaman kung saan ako nagbabasa nun. Alright. So, ito yon. We have here. To determine if the graph represents a function, one needs to perform the vertical line test. Remember, we have already discussed this last week about how to determine the vertical line test. So, gagawa ka lang ng mga vertical lines, tatamaan mo yung graph mo, itong linear function mo. If ever, tatama lamang siya, kahit saan ka mag-drawing ng vertical lines, kapag tatama lamang siya ng isang point at hindi magkakaroon ng 2 points, therefore, that is what we call a function. Pero kapag 2 points or more ang tatamaan niya, kahit isang beses lang niya natamaan ang 2 points na yon sa graph na yon, then that is just a mere relation and not a function. Okay, next. We have now here. Okay, so from the graph, complete the table by supplying the missing numbers. Okay, so we have here 0, 1, 0, negative 1. Teka ha, try lang natin. Ito, may drawing dito. So, 0, negative 1, ito yon. Okay? So, 1, 1, positive 2. Ito yon. So, kapag 3 naman, paano mo siya makukuha? Now, if you are medyo nahihirapan sa pagtingin dito, you can also consider this function given. Ito. Yan. Yan given na function na yan. Bakit? Ang gagawin mo lang dyan is to use the input-output. So, i-input mo lang si 2. So, 3 times 2, that is 6 minus 1, that is 5. So, 5 ang ilalagay dito. What if kung 3? So, 3 times 3, that is 9. 9 minus 1, that is 8. Kapag 4 naman, so 3 times 4, 12 minus 1, that is 11. So, makukumpleto mo pa rin ang table of values na ito. By the way, this is what we call the table of values. Alright, okay. Now, let us continue. Alright, so another way of using the linear function, o yun nga, sabi ko, yun lang, inunahan ko na ang module. Okay. Okay. So, let us continue. We have here, oops, medyo nagkaroon tayo ng technical error dun ah. Alright. So, ayan, okay. So, sorry for that one. Let us continue. So, take this an example. Is the function f defined by f of x is equal to 2x plus 3 a linear function? If yes, determine the slope, the y-intercept. So, in this given, of course, this is a linear function because it follows the arrangement mx plus b. Your m here is the positive 2, that is the slope, and your y-intercept, which is the b, that is positive 3. So, ganun lamang kadali, my dear math learners. So, how about this one? Given g of x is equal to negative x, a linear function. If yes, determine its slope and y-intercept. So, in this case, since the highest exponent is positive 1, wala siyang exponent na 1. Wala siyang exponent na more than 1 pala. So, since ang degree niya dito ay positive 1, okay? Ito siya ha, ayan, para makita nyo. Still, we can say that this is a linear function. Therefore, the slope here is the mx. So, ang m dito, ito yon, katabi ng x. So, that is negative 1. So, the slope is negative 1. However, your y-intercept, hindi na nakikita, wala ng plus dito. So, understood that is 0. Okay? Because kung maglalagay ka ng x plus 0, the answer is still x. Negative x plus 0, the answer is still negative x. So, automatic, kapag wala kayong makitang number na solo flight dyan, that means that is 0. Okay. Now, going here to number 3, we have is the function h defined by h of x is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 4, a linear function. Because of this, my dear math learners, hindi na siya matatawag na linear function. Tanong, bakit hindi? It's because it is in the second degree. And if that is the case, then we can say that that is a quadratic function. Hindi na siya linear function. Okay? So, ayun. Ito na nga ang sagot nila. Ayan. Ayan. O, tingnan mo. Okay? Nauunahan natin parati ang ating mga tanong. Okay, so meron na agad tayong sagot. So therefore, we can say na hindi talaga tayo naka-refer lang sa mga sagot dito sa module. Nade-discuss talaga natin yan. Okay, so I hope you are having a good time. Now, we have here, life problem, no problem. Okay, there are many ways in solving word problems. Polya's method is one of them. So George Polya was a Hungarian mathematician from 1887 to 1985. To solve problems, he invented a systematic process referred to by his name, the Polya's method. Polya's approach has a 4-step problem-solving mechanism that is used to help people solve problems all over the world. Okay, napakabuti naman ni George Polya. Alright, so ano yon? Number 1, understand the problem. Of course, paano mo sasagutin ang problema kung hindi mo alam ang mismong problema? Alright. Pangalawa, devise a plan, translate. So, of course, with the problem, by knowing the problem, by knowing the given, okay? So, magde-devise ka na ng plano. Paano mo siya isosolve, okay? Pwede kang gumawa ng mga picture, pwede kang gumawa ng pattern, okay? So, make a list, depende sa iyo, okay? So, for me, paminsan-minsan, gumagawa ako ng mga drawings, lalong-lalo na pag geometry ang mga problems, okay? Pero pag mga algebra naman, gumagawa ako ng mga equation, okay? Or representation like let x be or let y be, ganon. Para at least, alam mo ang ire-represent mo para sa pagsosolve mo sa problem. Step 3, carry out the plan. So, when we say carry out the plan, this is how you solve the problem. Okay? With knowing the problem, with using the given through your plan, now you will carry out the plan. So, sabi pa nga nila, pag meron kang plano, pero hindi mo naman bibigyan ng action, wala pa rin. Okay? Puro plano lang. Okay? So, hopefully, syempre, para masosolve ang mga problema, kahit saan pa yan, kahit sa bahay nyo pa yan, kung puro plano lang, walang gawa, wala pa rin. Okay, hindi pa rin masosolve ang problem. Alright! Okay. So, therefore, pag nakuha mo na yung plano mo, okay, or alam mo na yung problema, gumawa ka ng plano, tapos, nag-take action ka na sa plano mo. Ang next mo niyan is, syempre, i-check whether yung take action mo or yung action na ginawa mo or yung solution na ginawa mo is nakasolve sa problem mo. So that is where you look back. Okay, step 4, you look back, check and interpret. At kapag na-validate mo na tama yung solution mo, therefore, congratulations! You are... Yay! Correct! Ayan. Okay, so we have here, in the past quarter, Josh has already taken 4 quizzes. During each week of this quarter, she expects to have a quiz, or to have 1 quiz. Write a function showing the relation between the number of weeks and the total number of quizzes. Okay, how many quizzes in 12 weeks will Josh have? Okay, so, of course, ang problema natin dito is, ilan daw ang magiging quizzes kung meron siyang 12 weeks. Okay, so, in the past quarter, Josh has already taken 4 quizzes, and during each week of this quarter, she expects to have 1 quiz. So, merong quiz kada week. Alright. So, paano natin yan? So, let x be the number of weeks kasi yun yung hinahanap natin. Okay? So, how many quizzes will Josh have in 12 weeks? So, let x be the number of weeks and then let y be the number of quizzes. Bakit y? Because magdedepende kasi ang number of quizzes depende sa weeks. Of course, kung meron kang 5 weeks, may 5 quizzes ka rin. Parang ganun, okay? Or 2 weeks, 2 quizzes lang din, okay? So, magdedepende si quizzes, depende sa ilang weeks ang pinag-uusapan. Okay. So, at least alam na natin ang parang relation niya. Now, devise a plan. So, ito na yon. So, since si Josh meron ng 4 quizzes na nakuha niya last quarter, so magpa-plus 4 na tayo. Depende sa number of weeks. And let x be the number of weeks. So, therefore, kung ano mang weeks ang pinag-uusapan, let's say 2 weeks, so 2 plus 4 parati. Kasi yung 4, nandun na yun. Okay? So, our formula for now is f of x is equal to x plus 4. Now, since sinabi dito is, ilan daw magiging quizzes niya sa 12 weeks. So, therefore, yung quizzes yung x natin, which is the number of weeks, 12 weeks yon. Okay? So, 12, papalitan na natin yan, si x. So, 12 plus 4, that is 16 quizzes, all in 12 weeks. So, therefore, we can say that there are 16 quizzes that Josh will have in 12 weeks. So, by looking back, if you go back to the calculation, you can check this if ever you are correct. So, pag sinabing 1 week, meron siyang 1 quiz, pero may plus 4 na siya agad-agad sa previous quarter niya, so magiging 5 yon. So same goes. So, magiging ganun. Tama ang magiging checking nun. Alright, so I hope you got that one, my dear math learners. And now, this is where your job will start. Okay, my dear math learners, dito na kayo magsusolve talaga. Okay, so based on the discussion, what have you learned? And now, here is your exercises. So, activity 1, determine the domain and the range of the given relation given in the set of ordered pairs. So, dito, syempre, ang gagawin mo lang, lahat ng domain ay ang mga first number sa each pair. Okay, first number sa each pair. So, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And for the range, that is the second number in each pair. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Ganun lang kadali, my dear math learners. So, I'm sure kayang-kaya niyo yan dito. Now, we have here, determine the domain and range of each mapping diagram. Of course, here are the domain. Here are the domain. Here are the domain, and the range. So, palagi ba talagang ganito? Yes, palaging ganyan because of the arrow. Okay? Why? Because the arrow will tell you, it will always start from the domain going to the range. That will also tell you that the start of the arrow is the independent variable, or that is the input going to the output. Alright. So, ganun lang kadali, my dear math learners. Of course, here, which is the who are the domain and range in the table of values. Of course, ito yun sila. Alright? Ito naman si range. Same goes here. Alright. Alam kong kayang-kaya na yan. Alright. Now, we have here domain and range in the given illustrated graph. Okay, so, what are the domain and range here? So, of course, dito, sinabi na to kanina, di ba? O kapag horizontal, ano ang magiging slope mo? Okay. So, therefore, si x mo, may x ka, pero wala kang y. Yung y mo hanggang dito lang. Okay? Hindi na matatamaan ito, hindi na matatamaan ito. Okay? So, therefore, your x here is the set of real numbers, while your y is only the number y is equal to, ano to, positive 5 yata. O, positive 5. Alright? Ganun lang kadali. How about number 1? So, since this is like yung parabola kanina, okay? So, hindi niya matatamaan ito. Pero dito, dahil papunta to dito, extend na yan, pag ganyan. So, lahat ng x ay matatamaan, pero yung y ay mula lamang dito kay 0, papunta kay positive y. So, your x is the set of real numbers, while your y is the set of real numbers such that y is equal to 0, is equal or greater than 0. Okay, so mas malaki siya kay 0, si y. Same goes here. Okay, alam nyo na to. I hope at makuha niyo yan. And for this one, okay, so gamit na lang ng common sense. Alright. Okay, so let us practice more. So we have here, describe me. In this activity, you will describe the graph of linear equation in terms of its intercept, slopes, and points. So the slope, alright. So rise over run. So parang kukuha ka lang dito, my dear math learners. Napakadali lang nito. Okay? Let's check the drawing. Ayan. So we have here 0, 2. Ayan, 0, 2 yan. Dito naman, 4, 0. Ayan. So of course, ito na yung sagot sa x-intercept at saka sa y-intercept. Y-intercept is 2, x-intercept is positive 4. Of course, by using those points, you can now get your rise and you can now get your run. Or you can also just look at here. Okay? So from here, umakyat siya 1, 2. Okay, so positive 2 ang rise. Ang run naman ay papunta kay left. So, negative yun. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 4. Yun ang run. Okay? So, of course, the slope is the rise over 1. So, i-divide mo lang yun. 2 over negative 4. And that is, negative 1/2. Okay. And complete the table of values. So, by just using this one, or you can look at this one, of course, you can now know what is the y-intercept. Of course, dito, 0. Ano daw si y? Kapag 0 si x, ano si y? Ayan, 2. Kapag si 2 naman, ano daw si y? Ay, dito ka titingin. Okay, kung ano yung tumama sa kanila na point. Okay, so that is 1. Kapag 4 naman, ano daw si y? 4 si x, ano si y? So, si y natin, ito yon. So, dito siya sa 0 banda. So, 0. Kapag si 6 naman, and so on and so forth na yan. Okay, so you just extend the drawing. My dear math learners. Alright, so now let us go to activity 3. Using your graphing paper, graph. Okay, magga-graph ka lang, my dear math learners, katulad nito. Ito ang magasagot mo niyan. Okay, so based on this, ordered pairs, gagawa ka lang ng ganyan. Okay, and I'm sure alam nyo na yon paano. And if ever not, meron tayong isang video sa ating channel and that is all about how to plot points in the graph. Okay, so you can just check that out on our channel, Math Teacher Ash. And again, if you are new here, you can click that subscribe button. Alright, now let us go to the next. Complete me. So we have here the degree. Remember, the degree is the highest exponent. So for this one, that is positive 2. For this one, 1, 1, 1, here, 3, and so on and so forth. Okay, hindi ko nasasabihin ng iba. Okay, next. Linear function or not? So, if it is star, that is a linear function. If it is not, that is a heart. Remember, linear function has the exponent of 1 or wala talaga. Okay? So, understood, isang variable na walang visible na exponent, understood that is 1. So, that is a linear function. Pero pag wala, pero kapag meron, may mga to the power of 2, to the power of 3, to the power of, ano pa yung mga power dyan. So, ang gagawin nyo is heart. Ayan, heart. Okay, ang slope naman. Okay, yung slope, of course, yung katabi ng x. Okay, yung katabi ng x. My dear math learners, ito lamang ang aking piece of advice sa inyo. Make sure na i-distribute nyo muna kapag meron kayong parenthesis. Okay, i-distribute nyo muna. Kasi kapag meron parenthesis dyan, hindi pa yan in the simplest form. Hindi pa yan naka-standard form. So, i-simplify nyo muna. Tapos, kung ano yung katabing number ng variable ninyo, that will be the slope. Okay, of course, kapag hindi naman siya linear function, wala siyang slope. Hindi nyo na kailangan ilagay pa ang slope. Kapag heart ang sagot nyo, walang slope dito. Okay? Now, for the y-intercept, may y-intercept talaga parati. Okay? At ano or paano mo siya malalaman kung ano yung y-intercept? Always check the number without the variable. Sa madaling salita, hanapin nyo yung number na walang katabing letter. Hanapin ang number na walang katabing letter at yun yung y-intercept. Okay. Okay. So here, example here. So ito yung number na walang katabing variable. So that is 4. Ito naman, wala tayong nakikita. Understood. Pag wala nakikita, 0, 0. Ito naman, negative 25. Ito naman, solve mo na to. Okay? I-ano mo na. So kung ano yung number na walang katabing letter, yun na yun. Ito, wala tayong nakikita. So therefore, 0 yan. Ito naman, i-distribute nyo muna itong negative. Yan. Okay, may negative dito sa labas. So, i-distribute nyo sa loob para mawala ang parenthesis. Okay, and same goes here. Okay, so I hope, my dear math learners, na nakuha niyo kung paano sagutin ang inyong mga exercises in our given modules. And just here to help you and to understand para mas lalo nyo maintindihan at kayang-kaya nyo nang masolve ang mga problems natin. Now, here we have the let us remember. Ito na yung generalization. So, the linear function is in the first degree. That is a function in the first degree with the formula or with the standard form f of x is equal to mx plus b, where m is the slope and our b as the y-intercept. To know whether a graph is a function, then you can use the vertical line test. Asymptote is a line that the graph of a function approaches but never intersect. Ito yung tinatawag na muntikan na or muntikan pero hindi talaga tinadhana pero hindi pinagtagpo. Yan, okay. Or parang, ano mo, sinasabi nila, parang crush mo hanggang tingin ka lang. Yan, alright. Okay, so, hopefully, ito yung asymptote is parang attached na sana siya sa isang line or sa isang, let's say, isang axis, whether y-axis or x-axis, pero hindi talaga tumama. Yan ang what we call asymptote. Approach lang, pero hindi talaga tumama. O yan. Papunta, pero natorpe, hindi talaga nakapag-intersect. Alright, ganon. Next, the function notation, of course, that is the f of x. Yan. Okay, yung mga equation natin or yung mga function or mga expression natin. Yung f of x equals ganon, ganon, ganon. Ayun. Yan ang function notation. So, in graphing linear function, you can use the slope and the intercepts, or you can also just use the intercepts. And then you just connect the dots. If it is decreasing from left, the graph is decreasing from left to right. Mula siya sa taas, papunta sa pababa, that is decreasing. Pero kung nagsimula siya sa baba, papunta sa taas, then that is increasing. Okay, so positive slope siya kapag increasing. Negative slope naman kapag decreasing. There are many ways to solve a problem, like the Polias method, and the linear function can also solve the problems in our real life. Okay, so my dear math learners, I hope you have this topic well understood na. Okay, and after that, you have the post-test. So make sure you do your best to answer these multiple type questions. ABCD lang yan po. And that is hanggang, I think, 15. Alright, 15 questions ABCD. Okay? And if ever medyo may mga katanungan kayo or medyo may mga hindi natutunan or medyo confused sa mga topics natin, you can go back to that particular discussion para at least mas maintindihan nyo pa. Of course, we have also topics like kung gusto nyo maging advanced or gusto nyo balikan yung mga lesson na hindi nyo naintindihan, you can go to our playlist from elementary up to the senior high school. We have videos for you. Okay, so I hope this can reach to a lot of students, my dear math learners. So please, if ever nakikinig kayo dyan, help me to do so. Alright, so now we also have here the let us enhance, and that is also part of your, ano tawag nito? Performance task. Okay, so merong rubrics para masagot itong let us enhance na ito. So you just do your best, you just follow the instruction, and that's it. Okay, and after that, your reflection. What did you feel? What you like to react? Or how do you feel about the topic that we just discussed today? So, my dear math learners, ganyan lamang po kadali ang ating discussion for today. Kapag may mga questions, feel free to put it in our comment section or in our chat box below. And if ever you wanted to discuss something, okay, so basically, we can do also. So, just put it in our comment section below, and then let me, or just wait for me to reply on that particular topic, and we can help each other. Okay, so ito pa rin ang inyong abot kamay na math teacher, si Sir Ash. And hopefully, if you are new to this channel, you can click that subscribe button and notification bell para updated ka. And if ever you wanted that this video can reach a lot of students, not just in the Philippines but also sa iba't ibang lugar dito sa mundo, please click the like button. Maraming salamat, at always remember, it is fun to learn mathematics if we are together learning. Thank you so much. God bless and keep safe always.
We'll take a little trip over yonder, so I can take a look around at what you've seen.